Every set counts, every rally matters, and every point brings us closer to discovering who's got the skill, the heart, and the hunger to claim victory. Live from the Met Park Sports Center in the heart of Pasay City, we welcome you to the NDSL Volleyball Series. Taking a look at our schedule for our games for today, a quadruple header ahead of us. With a big one to open up our morning, it's a battle of the undefeated, the UST Golden Tigers going up against the CIGNAL HD Spikers. So good morning everybody, my name is Cholo Pangilinan. A pleasure to cover this game alongside Tati Dulce and Andre Veloso at the sidelines. And Tati, as I've mentioned, both of these teams undefeated.
Yes, you know, we have the CIGNAL HD Spikers, one of the best and upcoming teams for the next few seasons, for the next few leagues. And as of the University of Santo Tomas Golden Tigers, we see them who are actually like really good. You know, a lot of the star players are sitting out, but you know, as we can see, their wins so far, undefeated, points are equal. So it's a really big game right now, and we don't really know who's going to win.
And certainly after this game, only one team shall call themselves undefeated. But first, talking about the youngsters, the UST Golden Tigers, who won against the Ateneo Blue Eagles their last outing, and more specifically, one of their mainstays in the opposite spiker position, Albucari Sally.
Yes, Albucari Sally, you know, he's been MVP a lot actually in the past upcoming games. He was also one of the star players to look out for when it came to V-League, which they just played yesterday. So Sally is actually one of the players right now that will hopefully carry the team for this upcoming match.
And moving forward, the next team, the CIGNAL HD Spikers, who won against the Alpha Protectors, who by the way lost their first ever set in this volleyball series. And of course, if we're going to talk about a notable player, it's only right to talk about Jao Omandal, former UST Golden Tiger.
You know, there's an irony to that. Actually, he's going against the University of Santo Tomas. You know, as a Golden Tiger himself, we'll see whether or not going against his home team will bring back memories or make him be inspired to do better and do great.
And again, only one team shall call themselves undefeated after this match. But for now, we'll be turning it over to Andrea Veloso for a pre-game story.
Hi Cholo and Tati, this game is really exciting, but for the UST Golden Spikers, we will be seeing a lot more of their rookies today since their veteran players Yambao, Avila, De Vega, and Sherwin Umandal will be sitting out today dahil sunod-sunod nga raw yung mga naging laban nila the past few games, and they are looking forward for more games this week, so their priority will always be the overall health and well-being of their veteran players. At the same time, going up against a veteran team and a well-coached team like CIGNAL P8 HD Spikers, this is the perfect opportunity and learning experience for the UST rookies. With that, I will now turn you over to our venue announcer, Marvani. Marvani, take it away.
Our match at hand, the University of Santo Tomas Golden Spikers versus the CIGNAL HD Spikers. Introducing our officials for this match. First referee, Jofer Educado, National Referee. Second referee, Fernando Velarde, National Referee. And now, let us meet the starters. First, from the University of Santo Tomas Golden Spikers. Center number 4, Kevin Luis Cabrera. Outside hitter number 2, Kenneth John Salvador. Opposite spiker number 6, Albucari Sally. blocker number 14, Trevor Valera. Middle blocker number 20, Sean Cruz. Libero number 12, Adriel Alabar. And their coach, Benjamin Mape. Introducing the starters for the Signal HD Spikers. Middle blocker number 6, Casey Andrade. Outside hitter number 10, Wendell Miguel. Outside hitter number 11, Joshua Omandan. Middle blocker number 15, Martin Bukawa. Opposite hitter number 17, J.M. Ronquillo. Center number 18, Sian Sila. And their libero, number 16, Van Prudenciado. And their coach, Alexis Faitari. Best of luck to both teams.
And the starting roster for the UST Golden Spikers, we have Kevin Luis Tavera, we have Kenneth John Salvador, Al Bukhari Sali, we also have John Chris Aiko, Trevor Valera, we also have Sean Cruz and their libero Adriel Alabar. And on the other side for the Signal HD Spikers, we have Casey Andrade starting, same with Wendell Miguel, along with Jao Umandal. We also have Martin Bugawan, J.M. Ronquillo, and Sian Silang, alongside their libero, that is Van Prudenciado. And again, both of these teams undefeated so far in our volleyball series. Quick recap, UST nanalo against Ateneo, sa kabilang banda naman Signal. Despite winning against Alpha, I think it's worthy to take note na natalo sila in their first ever set here in the volleyball series. What do you think?
And that's very surprising, especially with the fact that Signal is known to be one of the undefeated champions, you know. So knowing that they lost one set is already a big thing.
So I think that's a fact that even giants can be slayed. But for the first blood of this game, the Golden Spikers will take it.
Sally always never disappoints with his blocks. One of the greatest blockers here in this league.
And again, we've talked about it in our pregame, so definitely he's someone to watch out for if you're the Signal HD Spikers, as John Omandal will get one.
Omandal really is showing his spunk early in the game. You know, he's one of the players that we look out for in Signal HD Spikers every single time that they play.
Speaking of players to watch out for, we also have the likes of Wendell Miguel, starting with him, and Martin Bogawan. Again, all of those worthy to watch out for if you're a fan of the Signal HD Spikers, as they get one more. So Andrade will have service duties for the next one. Again, we're in our first set of this game.
Ball is out. Point for UST.
So that is out. UST will get one, and we'll have a tied set so far at 2. And of course, for this game, calling the shots for the UST Golden Spikers is Coach Benji Mape. As we all know, Coach Oji Mamon not in the country as of right now.
Yes, it's good to see that both teams are being headed right now by their assistant coaches, actually. So we'll see how that plays out in terms of strategy, offense, defense, the roster, and how they utilize their players and new strategies as well.
So it's not only a battle of the players, but also for the coaching staff after all, as Omandal will get another one. So make it 4-3 so far. J.M. Ronquillo will be serving for the next one. And talking about the UST Golden Spikers, they finished in the Final Four last UAAP season. Although, maraming silang, tulad ng report ni Andrea, maraming wala sa kanilang roster as of right now. So that's kind of ironic, don't you think?
Yeah, actually, especially since, you know, they're playing against Signal, you'd think that they'd utilize all their players. But as we said a while ago, you know, NDSL is just another league as well, and we know that UST is preparing for the upcoming UAAP. So obviously, you know, the coaches want to prioritize the health of their players.
And certainly, that's going to be, of course, their priority above anything else. As let's see what both of these teams have in mind. Meanwhile, what an attack at that time, courtesy of Wendell Miguel. Let's take another look. That back row attack from Mr. Miguel, earning them a point.
Signal's known for their back row attacks. Actually, you know, their plays never seem to disappoint, whether it's in the front line or in the back line. Experienced players really know how to go.
And just as you say that, there's a service ace for the Spikers, the Signal HD Spikers, as they're leading by 3 so far in our first set. Jamie Ronquillo once again with service responsibilities. And of course, talking about the Signal HD Spikers, you've said it, undoubtedly one of the top teams in the PVL. So medyo ironic nga naman na kung kailan makakaharap mo isa sa mga pinakamalakas na teams in the PVL, doon ka pa magkukulang. But then again, sabi mo nga, this is a developmental league for a reason.
Yes, and I believe that, you know, this will let UST gain some experience moving forward, which I think is the main goal of the coaches naman talaga, right? Because, like you said, developmental league. So the entire time is just for UST to use this as experience for their next games.
Meanwhile, Salvador with a soft touch, earning them a point. As right now, they're still trailing by 3. Nevertheless, they'll have another chance at it. Let's take another look.
It's interesting to see how UST has been utilizing their wing spikers. You're not seeing a lot of the middle blockers so far, besides Sally with that block shot. But we'll see whether or not UST will be able to have more quick attacks, stress.
And we shall see indeed if that's going to be part of their plan. Meanwhile, Jao Mandal foiling the plans of UST that time, earning them a point. But right now we have our first technical timeout, 8-4 in our set 1. We'll be back for more.
With 6 years of national team experience, Jao Umandal is naturally one of the veterans the Signal Spikers look up to. He says those years shaped him the most, teaching him that every moment counts and that hard work is non-negotiable. He wouldn't be who he is today without that experience, he shared. His passion and refusal to be complacent still evident in his every words, and those are exactly the traits Signal rookies will do well to follow. Do you agree, guys?
Thank you very much, Andrea, and we do certainly agree. You know, it's quite cliche to hear that, pero cliche for a reason.
That's true. But, you know, speaking of cliche, we'll find out whether or not this will end in a very cliche ending. You know, a lot of people expect, since the Signal HD Spikers are more experienced than this UAAP rising team, you'd think that they'd win this match, but we'll see.
And certainly, again, just like what I've mentioned a while ago, even giants can be slayed. As we see Signal once again getting a kill, as they're now leading by 5. Let's take another look.
That was great floor defense by Signal HD Spikers. We have Shadow at the back of the libero.
Meanwhile, that attack by Valero was denied. And Salvador overhitting that. Signal will get one more. Make that a 6-point lead for them so far in our first set. As we're seeing Gabriel Salvador enter the game. An exchange of Salvador. As Bugawan gets it across. Valera attacks. And he gets the block touch.
Alright, we were just talking about how UST will be utilizing their middle blockers. Trevor Valera, one of our fan favorites, never disappoints with his quick attack.
And certainly one player to watch out for. Let's see what Signal has in mind. And it gets denied. UST getting one more.
Shut down again by Trevor Valera. You know, we have Sally and Valera really using their height against the Signal HD Spikers. As we know, volleyball is a game where height is very important.
And certainly UST has been utilizing that set advantage. Meanwhile, Signal answering back with her own kill. Make that 12-7 so far.
Alright, there we go, UST. We'll see whether or not UST will be able to catch up. But you know, we know that UST takes a little bit of time to like warm up, but we'll see.
Valera getting denied. UST with another chance. Sally also getting denied. Let's see what they have in mind as Sally tried a soft touch, still won't work. UST still with a chance. This time it's Signal. Another denial by UST. Both teams actually playing very good defense. But that time, Signal prevailing.
Unfortunate four touches there. You see Alabar who tried to get it over. It must be heartbreaking, especially as a libero. But you know, it's never too late to regain that point back.
Still fairly early in our set, 13-7. So still a lot of chances if you're UST, nothing to worry about. But again, you don't want Signal to steer away with a big lead. These are professionals. As they have this chance. UST will try to answer back. Hold the touch. Won't go. Signal bails it out. UST will try. Oh. An overpass at that time, leading to a Signal attack.
That was a very unfortunate incident for UST. That was a free ball in their direction. They could have used that as a way to attack, but unfortunately the set went over and Signal obviously knew what to do by the net.
UST this time. They'll try to capitalize, and they do. Al-Bukhari Sally with a kill.
Gary Sally never disappointing with his attack points.
But still they're trailing by 6 points. Let's take another look again. Sally with authority. Across court attack. As Valera will try to get it through, he does with a sharp one. Silang the set. They try to attack, and they do.
There we go, another Signal HD Spikers back row attack. You know, especially when the setter is in the back line, as you can see with Silang. Utilizing 3 Spikers with a back row attack is really, really smart. It confuses the blockers on the other team.
And that's one of the advantages of being professionals. When it comes to the mind games, you have the advantage compared to these youngsters of UST. Signal will try. Omandal, not that time for him. Let's see if UST can answer back. Rally will continue. Silang the set, the attack, and that is completed by JM Ronquillo. Second technical timeout. 16-8. Signal in the driver's seat, as we'll be back for more. We go back to the action here in the Met Park Sports Center. And that was to correct ourselves. Talking about the Signal HD Spikers, certainly, undoubtedly, they are one of the top teams in the Spikers Turf and the PNVF Champions League. So, again, if you're the UST Golden Spikers, this is a no joke of a game.
Sally again with another point from the wings. We're going to see a lot of Sally and his attack points. Maybe we'll see another MVP if UST manages to catch up here in the second half of the set.
And for sure, we're going to be looking out for the sophomore opposite spiker of UST. But for now, Tavera will be the one to serve for them. So far, they're trailing by a big 7 points. And again, if you're UST, you do not want a professional team like Signal to steer away with a big lead, as they'll make sure they'll really steer away with getting the set one as Andrade gets that through.
Prudenciado unable to receive that spike, but both Prudenciados are actually liberos, the brothers. We'll see whether or not that becomes an effect on both brothers here in this game.
To make that 17-9.
Serving for Signal, number 6, Casey Andrade.
So Casey Andrade will serve for Signal. UST will try to capitalize, and an unforced error that time from Tavera.
2 touches.
He's gonna hear it from Coach Benji for sure.
Coach Benji standing near the court trying to tell his team what to do, but as we know, UST learns from their mistakes, or spoken to too.
And yet another mistake for these youngsters of UST. And I think before the game, again, there are already presumptions to that, as again, Andrea mentioned a lot of absences in their roster. So if you're Signal, again, you have to take note of those absences and take advantage, of course. Meanwhile,
He's actually one of the spikers that, you know, would actually step up even if a lot of their main players aren't here right now. We'll see a lot of these attack points from different players that we don't see so far. As you said, Cholo, that this will be a game where a lot of UST's players will be stepping up from the bench.
so right now it's a double-digit lead for Signal, as they're 5 points away from getting the set one. Right now it's JM Ronquillo serving for the seasoned veterans of Signal. UST with that good reception, even better for Signal. And Jawo Mandali yet again finding a crack on that wall.
Umandal trying to see whether or not he could get through the block, but as you know, UST is a very tall team, so instead, you know, touching by the fingertips, as you can tell from the replay, Umandal knows exactly what he's doing.
For sure, Signal looking to close this one as early as they can. Meanwhile, another overpass coming from UST.
They can't afford these errors, especially with that lead right now. They want to still take that set.
To say the least, you know, not the best set for UST so far. They're trailing by a big 12 points. JM Ronquillo will get it through on a sharp one, but overserves it. UST dodging a bullet.
UST can't keep defending on the errors of Signal, especially if they want to make sure that they win this match. You know, they have to learn how to step up right now, even though their star players aren't playing.
And meanwhile, Martin Bugawan, business as usual for him, earning Signal yet another point. As Coach Benji calls it timeout, they're trailing by a bunch. We'll be back for more. Back to the action here at the MetPark Sports Center. And so far, again, UST down by a bunch. What do you think do they need to do so far?
I think UST needs to learn how to utilize their attacks. We'll see whether or not that happens, especially since, as we know, Signal HD Spikers, they're very good in terms of their defense. And they can't keep depending on errors like that if they want to win this set.
And certainly, they cannot wait for their opponents to keep on committing errors. They have to take those points upon themselves. As of right now, they're trailing by a big 11 points. But again, let's see if these youngsters still have gas in them. As Wendell Miguel showing no mercy to these young guns.
Wendell Miguel, one of the, again, players to look out for in Signal HD Spikers with another attack point from the wing.
Bugawan gets it across. Hernandez, the reception. They try to attack. Oh, Signal trying to keep it alive. And they won't. As the bench of UST is celebrating.
Great floor defense there by Signal, but that wasn't enough. You can hear UST in the background by Legaspi, who is initially a libero, actually. So I guess that's why they're celebrating, because what's a libero doing as a spiker on the front line?
Indeed. And you know, it's good to see UST, even though being down by a huge one, still having the morale to cheer for those kinds of moments.
Well, as we know, volleyball is a game of morale and momentum.
There is a net touch. Point for UST.
So point goes to UST after a violation coming from Signal.
UST has the momentum. Let's hope that they keep it if they want to keep catching up to Signal at set point.
And hopefully they do, as Hernandez gets it across on a sharp one. Meanwhile, that tap from Ronquillo, but it won't work. UST denying that ball.
Valera and Sally, the two towers of UST right in front of Signal. It was obviously almost impossible for that to get in.
Lead is down to single digits for Signal. Silang the set, the attack, and Sally getting frozen on that one.
Well, let's see whether or not UST finds this as a warm-up and uses this as experience for the next set.
So set one belongs to the professionals. The Signal HD Spikers will be back for set two. We go back to the action here at the MetPark Sports Center and taking a look at our score for our first set, presented to you by Black Mamba Energy Drink, 25-15. What can you say?
Honestly, I think this all boils down to the fact that UST doesn't have a lot of their main players. You know, Yambao is not here. One of the main players of UST, De Vega, Makam. These people are obviously key to the dynamic of UST, so that's probably why it's really hard for them to find their dynamic as themselves. But again, it's really interesting, especially in that replay, you know, seeing Libero Legaspi, number 10 of UST, become a key player in UST's spiker lineup.
And certainly those are the moments we live for And for sure, the purpose of these kinds of leagues to, you know, give the spotlight to these relatively unknown players compared to the ones you've mentioned na wala nga sa roster nila. So hopefully, again, it's not yet the end of the world for them. Moving into set 2, for sure, it's a fresh start for them. It's not too late to bounce back, and, you know, hopefully they can find their footing and their rhythm.
Yes, and we talked to JJ Mackham a while ago, and he told us that the reason why they're sitting out in the first place is because they want to give opportunity to the bench players, and they want to use this as an experience to build their skills, build the way they low and learn the game, and see, you know, how they do going against a professional team.
And definitely we have nothing but respect for Mackham and friends for letting their young guns...
Mackham and friends.
Mackham and friends, yes, for letting their young guns play this one out against a professional team. But yeah, you've mentioned then both head coaches not present, so coaching staff-wise, developmental din eh. What can you say?
Yes, using the assistant, you know, you'd be surprised a lot of the time, especially since you were an athlete yourself. You know, you can say that players are actually closer to the assistant coaches rather to the head coach. I don't know about you guys, but I was really close to my assistant coaches rather than my own head coach. Even though I was starting lineup, right?
And why does it feel wrong to confirm that?
I'm sorry. I guess that was a secret for the athletes. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, but nevertheless, that's, you know, a good sign for the team, you know, building relationships not only with your fellow players, but also with your coaches. Not only your head coach, but your assistant coaches as well.
Yes, and I believe we'll see that play out, a change in dynamic, a change of strategy maybe, since we're using the assistant coach's way of thinking instead of the usual head coach.
And can I just say, minsan pa nga, yung SNC pa yung close mo eh. Hindi pa yung mga assistant coaches, head coach. Kasi syempre sila yung kasama mo when you work out. And I'm sure the players out there, volleyball, basketball, sanyan, that's the case. As to start this set, Sally with a bomb.
For me, it was the physical therapist.
Yeah,
Always consistently injured.
certainly.
But we don't see any injured players right now, so we're all good.
As again, we saw that Sally attack to start this one out. But there seems to be a wet spot, so our kind moppers here in the Met Park Sports Center attending to the concerns of our officials and our players. So as of right now, that's a good sign. UST opening this one up with a mic drop coming from Sally. And hopefully we'll see more of those, and, you know, not them only depending on the errors of their opponents.
Yes, and again, like I said before, Cholo, this is a game of, you know, errors and attacks. We'll see also whether or not this is a game of momentum for UST. This is what they need to do. Keep the momentum high, keep the morale high if they want to take this set.
Meanwhile, Ronquillo overhitting that one, so UST will get one more.
Let's hope UST takes this takes these first 2 points as a way to keep their momentum and morale high.
So Cantinsag gets it across. Signal with a chance. Ronquillo attacks. He gets denied. And there you have it, UST getting one more.
Ronquillo going over the net a little bit there. We'll see that in the replay when he lands. Ooh.
So a great double block strategy a while ago for UST. As Signal now with another opportunity. Ronquillo. Not that time still for Signal.
That's frustrating as a spiker, especially if you're given another opportunity to spike by the setter, because the setter trusts you.
Yeah.
You know, you are the attack. So when you disappoint again, it hurts. It hurts.
Certainly, you can see the dismay on JM's face. But let's see what they have in mind. And there you have it, Signal getting it.
Vince Maglinaw You know, Cholo, he was part of our school from De La Salle University. Represent Vince Maglinaw, former team captain.
So it's certainly a pleasure to cover a fellow Lasalle, now playing, of course, professionally for Signal. As he gets it across, a high one, but no problem for UST as Sally just bails it out. Valbuena. And there you have it, a mic drop coming from Valbuena.
Signal utilizing their wing spikers here in this second set. A little more direct approach against UST's blockers.
Another look on that Valbuena attack, cutting that lead to just 2 points for UST. And as I say that, it's 3 points now.
A lot of Signal's errors ever since set 1 have been a lot of service. Hopefully they'll be able to adjust and adapt for the rest of the game.
Signal now, another opportunity for them. But that time, they prevail actually in that sequence.
We see Sally over there, probably with an error.
Casey Andrade with serving duties as he will get it across on a sharp one. Tavera the set, the attack won't work for UST. Signal will try to answer back. Valbuena, no ID, no entry, says the Golden Spikers.
Sally again with another block point. This is what I have been saying. Sally is always dependable when it comes to blocking the attacks of his opponents.
So defense perhaps will be the key to victory for UST, at least in this set 2. Let's see. And there you have it, UST one more time. So it's a 4-point set. UST in the driver's seat. And Sally will get it across. Good reception from Signal.
Miscommunication there from Signal.
Meanwhile, UST, the power was there, but even better floor defense from Signal, and not to mention Valbuena finding an open spot.
And that's the good thing about experienced players. Even though there was a little mishap in their team, it didn't stop them. You know, they didn't get what we say, taranta.
Exactly.
Right? They knew how to adjust immediately.
Exactly. You know, that's also what you call composure, as these are again seasoned veterans. As Ronquillo gets it across, Tavera the set, the attack, a mic drop coming from Aiko. So our first technical timeout is called. 8-4. UST so far surprisingly in the driver's seat, as we'll be back for more.
Year-old Albukhari Sally has been playing with UST Spikers for 2 years now, and growing up in Tawi-Tawi, he never expected coming to Manila at this age. But thanks to his height and another volleyball player from Tawi-Tawi, Rashner Siddiq of San Beda, who urged him to try out here in Manila, he was discovered and is now loving the sport. Kaya kahit late bloomer nga raw siya, 3 taon pa lang naglalaro ng volleyball, this sport has already been life-changing. He excitedly shared na dito nga raw niya naranasan makapunta sa ibang bansa, like last year when they went to Japan. And he's looking forward for more growing and fun experience like that with UST. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for that very beautiful report. And I only have one question to ask. Who knew volleyball could take you places, literally?
Literally. You'll be flying. Literally.
Both in the court and in the airplane.
Yes.
As right now, it's 8-6 UST, still in the driver's seat. So far, momentum I wouldn't say it's underside, but I'd say they have pretty good momentum so far.
Yeah, I'd like to say their morale is a bit better now. But I don't want to speak too soon like that.
So Maglinaw stopping the fun of UST, cutting that lead to just 1 point as we'll take another look.
You know, for Maglinaw's height, that's a really good vertical on his end. If you see how high he jumps and how high that block was.
So Valbuena sends it across. Not the best reception for UST as they try to bail out. They do. This time Maglinaw. Not that time for him. CIGNAL will bail it out and UST with a chance. And they do the same. And they finally attack, talking about Martin Bogawan and friends.
UST a little bit off-footing here as they don't seem to be good at the receives right now. Their defense seems a little they seem to be struggling a little bit with defense when it comes to receives.
So Bogawan ties up the set at 8. As it's Alfred Valbuena serving. He gets it across. Tavera with a set. The tap. Oh, what a save. But what a denial coming from UST.
You know, the receives might be a little shaky right now, but you can always depend on a good UST block.
It was so good we had to see it twice. Again, that was a great save. But even better defense coming from the Golden Spikers.
UST cannot afford these types of errors right now, especially after set 1. You'd think that a little bit more aggression with control would keep them at bay.
And hopefully that's going to be a problem they find a solution for. But in the meantime, great double block coming from CIGNAL.
CIGNAL, I think, is using their bench players a while ago. We see still a little bit of our starters though. We have Bogawan over here on the service line.
Service ace for Mr. Bogawan as they're leading by 2 points so far in this set. But a timeout called by Coach Benji as they're trailing only by a small 2 points. Nothing big. We'll be back for more. We go back to the action. Still here in the Men Park Sports Center. So far, CIGNAL with a 3-point lead after that Casey Andrade kill.
Casey Andrade, you know, he's one of the players that a lot of people actually cheer for. Casey, middle blocker.
CIGNAL gets it across. Tavera the set. Aiko. Oh, that was too much.
In fairness to Aiko, he has been doing well from the wings. Him, Sally, and Trevor.
The power was there, but it lacked precision as CIGNAL will get us across. Service ace.
A little hesitation there from Sally, unsure whether or not he was going to dive for the ball.
A mental lapse on the side of the Golden Spikers. As just like that, they're trailing by 5 points in our second set, at least so far. But we'll take another look. I believe that's Casey Andrade getting the service ace. So again, 14-9. But for sure, a better set for UST this time around.
Yes, at least UST is trying to climb their way back to a lead, hopefully, again.
as Bugawan gets it across. An overpass coming from UST, and Casey Andrade not disappointing.
UST has been making a lot of over receives, over passes. Hopefully that won't continue to be the case.
UST with another chance. Let's see if they can capitalize. The attack. And finally they get one through. So that's Gabriel Hernandez getting that one to go, as they're trailing only by 5 points. Again, nothing serious. As he'll get a sharp one to go. But De La Paz closing the gate.
And this is what we're saying. We're not only depending on certain spikers when it comes to blocks. It's the entirety of UST, no matter how tall or short they are.
And that's what you like to see. Again, if your attacks aren't working, maybe in another way you can earn some points. As they're only trailing by 4. Andrade no good on that running attack. Prudentiado with a great save. Signal with another chance. Maglinaw still won't work. UST will try to answer back. And they do!
The Prudentiado brothers. The Prudentiado and the UST setting up for Sally over there, only to spike directly at his brother on the other side.
And some brotherly love being shown here in our NDSL volleyball series. As Maglinaw, not that time. 3-point set. And what an attack that time from Casania. As we enter our second technical timeout, 16-12. 4-point lead for Signal. We'll be back for more action. Back to the action here, still at the Met Park Sports Center in Pasay City. So far, a 4-point, no, make it a 5-point lead now, courtesy of JM Ronquillo's attack. (17-12). Casania will serve, gets it across. Tavera the set. Sally with the attack, he gets denied. Tavera will try one more time. Sally. And finally, UST gets that one to go.
Tavera was struggling at the first part of the set, but you can see now that he's got his more of his way back to the team. He's not the main spike. He's not the main setter, as we know. But again, we talked about how UST is utilizing their bench players to gain experience.
Valbuena, not that time for him. Sally will try. And what defense showcased by Signal. And a violation committed by Sally. So Signal will prevail in that sequence.
There is a violation, and that is a point for Signal.
Another look. Again, Sally getting called for that violation.
Ooh, there was a net touch, I believe.
So that goes out. UST dodging yet another bullet as they're trailing only by 4 points.
You know, at least the lead is smaller for this set. UST slowly but surely finding their way in this game.
Ball is out.
So that's out. So Signal just reclaiming that lost 1 point a while ago.
Again, UST cannot have these errors right now. They don't have the space to do so.
Andrade gets it across. The Verde set. They try to attack. Won't work for them. One more time, Sally. And the UST getting one.
Point for UST.
That touch, I believe, from one of the Bugawan brothers.
Number 6, Al-Bukhari serving
4 point set.
for UST.
Sally will serve this one out. Signal with a chance. The tap won't work for them. Cruz the set. The tap again. UST with an opportunity. Signal this time. But that's too much as a UST yet again earning a point.
I believe a lot of UST's points come from the attack and service errors of Signal. So, you know, you can tell that even though they are a professional team and they're the more experienced veteran team, it doesn't mean that there aren't any space for errors for them.
Certainly. Again, just like what I've been saying the whole game, even giants can be slayed. As let's see if UST can indeed do that one. As we have a score of 20-16. So the difference have stayed for a while as it's 4 points. So Silang gets her across. Tavera the set. The attack. And Cruz finding an open spot. Another look on what just transpired. Again, Sean Cruz not disappointing.
Good for Tavera as a setter, learning how to adjust.
The attack. Signal not prevailing that time. But the UST. That's Gabriel Hernandez capitalizing.
Hernandez, one of the shorter spikers in the University of Santo Tomas. It doesn't stop that Golden Tiger though.
Meanwhile, Signal showing them how it's done, courtesy of Martin Bugawan. So we have a 3-point game. Again, UST still not out of the woods as Alfred Valbuena will serve. Tavera with another set. The attack. Gabriel Hernandez with a wrecking ball.
Hernandez with back-to-back points for UST.
Substitution for UST. Number 10, Legaspi in.
So it's a 2-point set. Again, UST not yet out of the woods. 21-19. Legaspi will serve. Signal this time. Let's see what they have in mind. Block touch.
Let's remind everybody that Legaspi was initially a libero, so it's like having two liberos in the back row right now.
So an interesting strategy for Coach Benji. Legaspi the set. The attack. No good for Hernandez. Andrade will tap it to the other side and they will prevail.
Legaspi, a spiker a while ago, now a setter. We love a utility player.
Whatever the team needs, he's there.
Well-rounded, that's what he is.
But right now, they're trailing by 4 points. As Bugawan gets it across. Another over reception coming from UST and De La Noche capitalizing on that error. So Signal at set point. Let's see if they can finally close this set out. Bugawan UST will try. Back row attack. That'll work for them.
Sally again with another point. He's been really carrying UST's attacks this entire game.
Back row attack again coming from Sally. As it's a 4-point game, Hernandez gets it across. Andrade. Oh, there's a violation coming from Signal, so UST will get one again. So Signal will call a timeout. UST, again, not yet out of the woods, only a 3-point game. We'll be back for more. Back to reaction here. Signal at set point. Hernandez with an error. And there you go. Signal will get this set two on a close one, by the way, unlike their first one, which was 25-10.
Yes, Signal using that timeout for UST to make that service error and switch it up.
So set three in just a bit. We'll be back for more. You are still watching the NDSL Volleyball Series as we'll take a look at our scores for the first set and second set. Of course, brought to you by Black Mamba Energy Drink. And in that second set, certainly a better one for UST, pero Signal again showing why they are the seasoned veterans.
Yes, UST really needs to find a way to make sure that they become more consistent when it comes to their attack points. You know, they can't keep depending on the errors of the Signal HD Spikers. But as we know, the University of Santo Tomas, they don't let pressure get to them. Not in any game that we've seen so far. These people are undefeated for a reason. But then again, you could say the same thing for the Signal HD Spikers.
So yes, not yet the end of the world for UST as we still have a third set coming our way. But if you're Signal again, you would want to close this one out once and for all. You wouldn't want to let your opponents find a little bit of daylight.
You can see that UST had a very long huddle there before they dispatched, knowing full well that this is a do-or-die moment, this set in set 3.
And let's see if that kind of environment or atmosphere can change the way they play. Hopefully it will. But for Signal, they're no strangers to these kinds of situations. And so far, actually, you know, Jao Omandal really had an impact during that first set. But moving forward, I think, you know, he really gave the way to his other teammates to make some noise.
Yes, you know, the Signal HD Spikers right now, you can see on court, they're just like very casual, very calm. I believe that they're not a little bit, scared. But we'll see right now whether or not UST will do something about it.
So to start this set, Tavera served that one. Meanwhile, a mic drop coming from JM Ronquillo to open our set 3.
Ronquillo there with a quick attack from the wing.
So Casey Andrade will serve this one. So what a way to start our set 3. JM Ronquillo with an exclamation point. And Sally over-attacking that one.
UST cannot afford these kinds of errors, especially right now at the critical moment here for set 3.
De La Paz, the attack. And Maglinaw late on that defensive response. So Salvador getting credited with that point.
Very interesting. Maglinaw wasn't part of the starting lineup, but now he's been put in for set 2 and set 3.
Talk about coming off the bench and just flat out playing very well. 2-1 now. So serving for UST, I believe that's Sean, or rather Kenneth Salvador. 2-1 now. Again, Signal in the driver's seat. But our officials and our players seems to have some concerns. A good thing our kind moppers here in the Met Park Sports Center are here to help them.
Hernandez, one of UST's players who are doing really well, one of the more consistent ones in this game.
Salvador gets it across. The attack. JM Ronquillo once again with a thunderbolt.
Ronquillo, one of the players on Signal, carrying the attacks from set 1 until now.
3-1. Signal up by 2. As JM Ronquillo with service duties so far is playing a great game. UST now. Hernandez, not that time. Put in shadow, gets it ready, not on the attack from Signal. Nevertheless, poor floor defense from UST.
Tavera, the setter who is in charge of the second ball, tried to get the first one because none of his teammates were near the area of the ball.
Let's take another look. Again, that was Alfred Valbuena attacking. And initially it was stopped, but no one was there for UST to receive that ball. So right now it's 4-1. Signal still in the driver's seat. Let's see if they can close this one out.
Coach Benji a while ago having a talk there with Tavera.
Number 17, JM Ronquillo, serving for Signal.
So Ronquillo once again serving for the Signal HD Spikers. But steps on the line. So a rookie mistake for a veteran. Nevertheless, 4-2.
It happens
Yeah.
to everyone.
Serving for UST, number 22.
Definitely happens. And you can see it clearly. His left foot stepping over. But play will continue. What an attack from Maglinaw. But UST keeping it alive. Hernandez this time. Won't work for them. JM Ronquillo with a dynamite.
Ronquillo making it up for his service error a while ago.
Let's take another look. JM Ronquillo. Another day in the office. Valbuena. Hernandez this time. Valera. Won't work for the Golden Spikers. Lasagna to Ronquillo. That's too much. 5-3 now. Sally, his turn to serve. But then Shadow receives it. The set by Casania. They try to attack it, but what a rejection coming from Valera. Another look. Again, Valera. Great anticipation on his part.
UST never disappointing with their blocks.
Ball goes out. Point for Signal.
But quickly, Signal reclaiming that lost point.
UST using an offensive defensive libero play, switching out their liberos from offense to defense.
So UST dodging yet another bullet as they cut that lead to just one for Signal.
Serving number 16, Gabriel Hernandez.
So Gabriel Hernandez will serve. That was a very sharp one. Casania with a set. The attack. Magalina prevailing.
Vince Maglino off the block.
Hernandez now in the back line with Sally. We'll see whether or not Tavera uses that to his advantage.
Meanwhile, I believe that was Magalina once again setting that ball downwards. As we have a first technical timeout, 8-5, Signal on top. We'll be back. You're still watching the NDSL Volleyball Series as Signal is leading this set 3, 8-5. Casania gets it across. Hernandez receives it. The set, the attack. Salvador getting denied. UST with another chance. And Sally not getting it that time. Signal gets a point.
Albuquerque Sally again carrying the attack of UST but getting substituted.
So Aiko checks in the game for Sally as Casania will serve. But that's out. So UST earning back that lost point as we have a 3-point game, 9-6.
You can see right now on the court, you can see the height difference between UST and Signal.
So that's certainly one more thing to take note. Meanwhile, what an attack at that time, Alfred Valbuena.
It's not stopping Valbuena though when it comes to height difference.
Again, these guys are professionals, so make no mistake. There are times that they're gonna have that disadvantage in terms of height, but you know, in terms of heft, the power, the accuracy, they have it. So again, big props to our mompers here and the rest of the staff in the Med Park Sports Center for attending to the concerns of our officials. Always right there when there is a wet spot.
Number 19, Vince Maglino, serving.
As Maglino, it's his turn to serve for the Signal HD Spikers. Too sharp for Maglino.
But Maglino and Ronquillo have been the most consistent when it comes to attack points for the Signal HD Spikers.
So Tavera, his turn to serve. Casania with a set. The attack by Valbuena. Not that time though. Access denied, says the Golden Spikers. take another look. Great attack from Valbuena. The power was there, but the anticipation was better.
Ball goes to the net. Point for the HD Spikers.
The Signal HD Spikers still holding on to that lead. 3 points as of now.
If UST still wants to reclaim this match, they need to pull away starting now before we reach the second technical timeout.
Only a 3-point lead, so certainly, again, not yet out of the woods. Great block coming from UST. Meanwhile, Ronquillo, at that time, Signal bails it out. The set by Tavera, Aiko. And they get it one more time.
Aiko through the block, using the block of Signal to gain that point. Aiko also a really good attacker this game.
So Sally, Aiko, perhaps the guys they should lean on to moving forward.
And
Asanya.
Hernandez even.
Yes, Gabriel Hernandez, of course. But Martin Bugawan showing them how it's done.
Martin Bugawan also being one of Signal's key spikers this match, with Ronquillo and Maglinaw.
As James Ronquillo will serve on a very sharp one. Meanwhile, what a denial coming from Martin Bugawan. (13-9).
You know, we've been talking a lot of UST's blocks, but Signal's actually really doing well in terms of defense and offense, very balanced more than UST. But I guess that goes to show when it comes to experience and their age as well.
And that is, again, their primary advantage heading into this matchup, as James Ronquillo will have service duties for Signal this time around. But that won't work for him. So a couple of errors for Signal the past sequences, which is actually a good thing for UST. Again, in terms of attacks, they haven't been scoring, as just like what you said.
And just like what I said, UST cannot afford service errors right now. Especially here, it's the third set, and if they still want again to regain the match, they need to lessen their errors and focus more on the aggression of their attacks.
Tavera with the set. Hernandez, no ID, no entry, says EJ Casanya.
Casanya, a very consistent setter as well, knowing full well what his team needs with the spikers, no matter backline nor frontline.
Another look on that iceberg coming from EJ Casanya, stopping the Titanic. 15-10. UST, Valera. What defense being showcased by Signal. But that time UST finding a crack on that wall.
Hernandez again utilizing the blockers in front of him. That goes to show that no matter what your height is in volleyball, if you are a great spiker, you are a great spiker.
Indeed. We'll take another look. Again, you've mentioned him, Gabriel Hernandez. Certainly one of the guys to lean on to if you're Coach Benji. Signal this time around. That tap won't work. What an attack coming from Trevor Valera.
Valera, a little hang time there on his A-quick attack.
Make that 15-12 as we'll take another look. Give that ball a ticket. It was over speeding.
Good communication between setter and spiker there.
Oh, good defense from Hernandez. Great recovery from Tavera. As Hernandez bails it out. Signal will try to capitalize. They won't. Prudent Shadow, great reception. Hernandez will try. And they get shut down. So we enter our second technical timeout. 16-12. Just a 4-point game. Nothing serious, but again, UST, they're already down by 2 sets. We'll be back for more.
losing the first 2 sets, the UST Spikers are still determined to finish this set strong. Coach Benji gives non-stop motivation in the bench. Even one of the coaches jokingly slap his players' knees, saying, "Painitin pa natin yung mga tuhod nyo." And during the timeout, Coach Benji reminded his players, particularly Tavera and Salvador, to improve their blocks and defense. And it looks like that reminder is slowly paying off. Ilaban nyo na. That's the last message of Coach Benji during the huddle. Cholo and Tati.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for that great report. And indeed, you know, at this point, they have nothing to lose. So they should really give 110% of their effort.
Right, like you said, Cholo, there is nothing to lose. So might as well give it their all, go all in their aggression instead of playing it safe.
For sure, these youngsters looking forward to showing their A game right now. Oh my goodness. That was a good attack, but just too much as UST again will dodge a bullet.
Here we go again, UST depending on the errors of Signal. Hernandez now in the back line.
Silang with a set. The attack, no good for Maglinaw. Silang, another set for him. De La Noche. That is outside UST again.
Momentum shift here for the UST Signal HD Spikers game. Cholo, would you like to explain to the viewers what you just did?
I'm getting nervous. They might be in store for another set. But let's see. It's gonna be up to these players. Pero mukhang ayaw ni Vince Maglinaw ng isa pang set. 17-15 so far.
Vince Maglinaw, Animo represent with leadership abilities as well. You can see that he's taking control too of the situation when it comes to Signal's attacks.
So a thin 2-point margin still in favor of Signal. So De La Noche will serve this time around. Good reception. The tap. What a cerebral move coming from Aiko.
Tavera apologizing to Aiko there. The set was a bit too far and a little mistake with Aiko at the back line. That could have been an easy point for Signal.
Trevor Valera. UST can actually tie this game up. But instead will give away a point.
Coach Benji looking a bit disappointed there from the bench.
Vince Maglinaw will serve for the HD Spikers. Good reception from Hernandez. Salvador will try. That's too strong. So lead is back to 3 points. Signal still in the driver's seat. And if you just tuned in, so far Signal winning 2 sets over the Golden Spikers. Service ace. Arrows up for Vince Maglinaw.
If UST doesn't want Signal to take this match actually, they should be able to learn how before they get to 21 on Signal HD Spikers, and UST needs to catch up.
But Vince Maglinaw just showing them no mercy as UST bails it out. Silang with a set. The attack. Valbuena showing what he's got.
Valbuena, Ronquillo, Maglinaw, all these spikers from Signal showing them that this is what they do as Kuyas.
Again, Valbuena with that mic drop. All smiles for Alfred Valbuena. Certainly enjoying themselves in this game. So Maglinaw again with a strong one, but that's too strong.
Gigil on Maglinaw's side.
Substitution for UST. Number 10, Legaspi, and number 4, Tavera.
So 21-17. It's still quite a big margin. Again, considering the circumstances, of course.
Libero Legaspi coming in now as a setter.
Silang with a set. Alfred Valbuena once again with a laser.
Valbuena down the line.
Official score 22-17 in favor of Signal. Serving number 6.
5-point game. Andrade on a sharp one. The set. And UST prevailing on that sequence, but still quite a big margin.
Now, the only thing UST can do is minimize their errors and focus on their attacks, focus on their defense, especially since Signal has been becoming more aggressive in terms of their attacks.
Indeed, the way to go. Silang with the set. The tap. Cerebral move. Arrows up for Vince Maglinaw.
Vince Maglinaw saw that opening, expecting that three-man block, knowing full well that the people in the back line would be expecting a spike instead of a drop.
23-18. Hernandez, no good on the tap, quickly denied. Legaspi the set. Aiko, won't work. Silang again to De La Noche. Oh, great save from Legaspi as Hernandez will try. Hernandez try to tap it back in, won't work. De La Noche, no good at the bailout. Legaspi with a set. The attack, a missile from the sky. Let's take another look. What an attack that time. Actually, as the set and the attack, very impressive. That was Carbe Malabunga.
Official score 23-19 in favor of the Signal HD Spikers. To serve for UST,
23-19.
26 Carpe Malabunga.
So Carbe Malabunga gets it across. Silang with a set. Alfred Valbuena once again with a bullet.
All right.
Signal now at match point.
UST, you know what? If they just figure out that not to give in to the pressure that's coming in on this last point, they'll be able to catch up, we believe.
And hopefully that's going to be the case, but Signal on the set point. And there you have it. That wraps it up for this match.
Unfortunate incident there by UST. I guess they were expecting that the ball would be touched.
So the Signal HD Spikers sweeping the UST Golden Spikers in this match to open up our game day this Wednesday. And certainly the Signal HD Spikers showing why they are professionals. Again, one of the top teams in the Spikers Turf and the PNVF Champions League. Pero ito namang UST, again, we have to consider na kulang ang roster nila, but still, you know, sky's the limit for these young bloods.
Yes, I believe the story would have been different though if we had Yambao in, if we had Macam, if we had Salvador. A lot of them would have done a little better.
Indeed, but you know, Signal will at least this time go home with a smile as we have the scores. The past 3 sets brought to you by Black Mamba Energy Drink. So, set 2, set 3, yun yung medyo malapit eh. Set 1, dun lang talaga minalas itong Golden Spikers.
Yes, but as you can see right now that Signal played as best as they could. A lot of them, all these Spikers did as well as they could. And so UST hopefully will be able to learn from this, especially since that was the goal of Coach Benji for this match.
And of course, talking about notable, the most notable player of this game, I think, if you've watched this match, the entirety of it, you know which one that is. Of course, we have Miss Andrea Veloso to introduce to us our best player of the game, brought to you by 4F. Together we play for the planet.
Thank you, Cholo. Our best player of the game, none other than Vince Maglinaw of Signal HD Spikers. Congratulations, Vince. 3 sets na panalo nyo. What works so well here in this game?
Siguro during training kasi talagang pinagandaan namin yung UST. So kung ano yung pinag-trainingan namin, kung ano yung inaral namin against sa UST, yun yung ginawa namin para mas madali yung kilos namin para manalo kami sa game.
Vince, let's talk about your performance in the entirety of this game. You were physically present, talagang you lead when it comes to attack. Anong masasabi mo dun sa leadership na pinakita mo ngayon?
Siguro yun naman, collective effort naman yun kasi without my teammates hindi ko naman magagawa yun. So sa na-perform ko ngayon, it's all because of my teammates.
Vince, baka may gusto kang pasalamatan o batiin?
Una-una, thank you God kasi nanalo kami, everybody safe. And then sa lahat ng Signal HD fans, ayan, hello and manood kayo sa darating na semifinals.
Congratulations, Vince, and of course to Signal HD Spikers. Back to you, Cholo.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Once again, that is Vince Maglinaw showing that he's got the quiver and the bow, getting that best player of the game honors. Once again, brought to you by 4F. Together we play for the planet. And that wraps it up for our first game of the day. But stay tuned, our next one. This time in the women's division, it's the Benilde Quezon going up against Team Hiraya. Once again, this has been Cholo Pangilinan, Tati Dulce, and Andrea Veloso at the sidelines. This is still the NDSL Volleyball Series.